Hello, good morning. I will start reading Sapiens from page 1. An element of no significance. About 13.5 billion years ago, matter, energy, time, and space came into being in what is known as the Big Bang. The story of these fundamental features of our universe is called physics. About 300,000 years after the appearance, matter and energy started to coalesce into complex structures called atoms, which then combined into molecules. The story of atoms, molecules, and their interactions is called chemistry. About 3.8 billion years ago, on a planet called Earth, certain molecules combined to form particularly large and intricate structures called organisms. The story of organisms is called biology. About 70,000 years ago, organisms belonging to the species Homo sapiens started to form even more elaborate structures called cultures. The subsequent development of these human cultures is called history. Three important revolutions shaped the course of history. The cognitive revolution kick-started history about 70,000 years ago. The agricultural revolution sped it up about 12,000 years ago. The scientific revolution, which got underway only 500 years ago, may well end history and start something completely different. This book tells the story of how these three revolutions have affected humans and their fellow organisms. There were humans long before there was history. Animals, much like modern humans, first appeared about 2.5 million years ago, but for countless generations, they did not stand out from the myriad other organisms with which they shared their habitats. On a hike in East Africa 2 million years ago, you might well have encountered a familiar cast of human characters: anxious mother cuddling their babies and clutches of carefree children playing in the mud, temperamental youths chafing against the dictates of society, and very elders who just wanted to be left in peace. Chest thumping masses, uh, trying to impress the local beauty, and wise old matriarchs who had already seen it all. These archaic humans loved flight, formed close relationships, and competed for status and power, but so did chimpanzees, baboons, and elephants. There was nothing special about them. Nobody, least of all humans themselves, had any inkling that their descendants would one day walk on the moon, split the atom, fathom the genetic code, and write storybooks. The most important thing to know about prehistoric humans is that they were insignificant animals with no more impact on the environment than gorillas, fireflies, or jellyfish. Biologists classify organisms into species. Animals are said to belong to the same species if they tend to mate with each other, giving birth to fertile offspring. Horses and donkeys have a recent common ancestor and share many personal traits, but they show little sexual interest in one another. They will mate if induced to do so, but their offspring, called mules, are sterile. Mutations in donkey DNA can therefore never cross over to horses or vice versa. The two types of animals are consequently considered two distinct species, moving along separate evolutionary paths. By contrast, a bulldog and a spaniel may look very different, but they are members of the same species. Sharing the same DNA pool, they will happily mate and their puppies will grow up to pair off with other dogs and produce more puppies. Species that evolved from a common ancestor are bunched together under the heading genus, plural genera. Lion, lions, tigers, leopards, and jaguars are different species with the genus Panthera. Biologists label organisms with a two-part Latin name, genus, followed by species. Lions, for example, are called Panthera leo, the species Leo of the genus Panthera. Presumably, everyone reading this book is a Homo sapiens, the species Sapiens wise of the genus Homo main. Genera in their turn are grouped into families such as the cats, lions, cheetahs, house cats, the dogs, wolves, foxes, jackals, and the elephants, mammoths, mastodons. All members of a family trace their lineage back to a finding matriarch or patriarch. All cats, for example, from the smallest house kitten to the most ferocious lion, share a common feline ancestor who lived about 25 million years ago. Homo sapiens, too, belongs a family. This banal fact used to be one of history's most closely guarded secrets. Homo sapiens long preferred to view itself as set apart from animals, an orphan bereft of family, lacking siblings or cousins, and most importantly, without parents. But, but that's just not on the case. Like it or not, we are members of large and particularly noisy family called the great apes. Our closest living relatives include chimpanzees, gorillas, and orangutans. The chimpanzees are the closest. Just 6 million years ago, a single female ape had two daughters. One became the ancestor of all chimpanzees, and the other is our own grandmother. Skeletons in the closet. Homo sapiens has kept hidden an even more disturbing secret. Not only do we possess an abundance of uncivilized cousins, once upon a time we had quite a few brothers and sisters as well. We are used to thinking about ourselves as the only humans because for the last 10,000 years our species has included being the only human species around. Yet the real meaning of the word human is an animal belonging to the genus Homo, and there used to be many other species of the genus besides Homo sapiens. Moreover, as we shall see in the last chapter of the book, in the not so distant future, we might again have to contend with non sapiens humans. To clarify this point, I will often use the term sapiens to denote members of the species Homo sapiens, while reserving the term human to refer to all extant members of the genus Homo. I will conclude here for today. Um, I have started reading Sapiens of Yuval Noah Harari, and um, as we understood, um, this is the story of human mankind, how the evolution and how all those revolutions took place in human history. Like Harari starts talking about um, three different revolutions that took place in the course of history. Um, I will go back to the pages, read uh, to talk about them. And he talks about evolution and how humans evoluted from great apes, and how humans garnered so much power comparing to their ancestors or animals they have evolved from. And like um, talking about revolutions, he talks about cognitive revolution, like which started 70,000 years ago and started developing human mind and creating a special intellect in human beings. Then agriculture revolution, which is actually the art of growing food um, in like cultivable environments, not I mean hunting and gathering food here and there. And human society started doing that about 12,000 years ago. And the scientific revolution, which is the very recent and started about 5,000 years ago. But he has an inkling that it might start something completely different. So this story, like the book Sapiens, is a book of history, but I like mostly about how it intermingles both the history, science, agriculture, and human culture evolvement over the course of history, and um, describes in a friendly storytelling manner. And I have read this book quite a few times, but I will reread this because it has connected a lot of dots over the course of human history, and it is helpful to understand lots of things that is happening now. And this is the very beginning. And as you can see, um, Harari talks about uh, starting from Big Bang, like the matter, energy, time, and space that originated from Big Bang. And he also talks about uh, the biological phenomena of how humans evolved. Then he goes into the history, the intellectual revolution, or in Harari's word, cognitive revolution. And as of what we know about human civilization, started in East Africa, and it talks about the origination from the um, East Africa. So this is that's it for today. Happy New Year, everyone, and I will continue my reading tomorrow again.